All right, we're live. I got somebody waiting. Wow. Thanks for waiting for my stream. Sorry, I'm a few minutes later. I've already been looking at the charts all morning. The indices moved a ton, just like I called it yesterday. Big Friday sell-off, but we'll dive into those. We'll dive into everything, and see how this week is ending, and then maybe start planning for next week too. Right on. So let's just see. We'll just look at what's moved the most. Kiwi dollar, which I'm actually in a position with right now. That's number one. Aussie dollar is number two, and then USD yen is taking the biggest hit. Basically, the US dollar is collapsed. But now it's retracing a bit. So, where to start? You know what? I might actually start with these indices because I called this move yesterday. Start with the S&P here. So I'm just in the midst of making a coffee. 1 second. Okay, so big dump on the S&P 500. I mean, absolutely perfect. You can see lower highs here, boom, 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 created this massive imbalance with this 1 hour candle at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Price came up, filled this imbalance, grabbed some more sellers, and then boom. And you can see came down to this 1 hour imbalance here, perfect, and it's now getting bought up. It's truly amazing how much price respects imbalances. Like I've been trading a long time, like almost a decade, and once I discovered imbalances, it changed everything. It really, really did. It made so much more sense than just like, why does this go all the way down, and then why does it go all the way back up, and isn't this trending, and all of a sudden the trend changes, and so like, what is trend, right? So, but just understanding imbalances is crucial, and so we still have this gap here. Price opened. This was 2 weeks ago now. It hasn't filled yet. It's like this will fill, and now it's broken structure to the downside. You can see this 4 hour swing low broke it. This was actually a 4 hour imbalance as well as a 1 hour. Price came up, tapped into it, boom. Now it broke this 4 hour swing low. So I'd say the S&P 500 is bearish, and it's just going to continue down, start filling all these imbalances down here. Very similar on the NAS here. They're pretty much the same. NAS is just tech, but they move relatively the same. So this has completely overshot these imbalances, which can happen if there's a ton of momentum, right? Especially because what time was this at? 5 a.m. So that's even, I think that's pre-New York. New York just opened technically 7 minutes ago, but yeah, crazy. So now it's pulling back. It's going to fill these smaller imbalances, as you can see, that it made. And then I do think it's going to keep heading lower. So as far as where it ends today, if we look at the range, it's already moved 500 points down. It only, on average, moves 393. So it's already overextended for the day. So don't see it really going much lower than this. I think it might just somewhat consolidate for the rest of the day. But who knows if the next 22 minutes, I think there's some news too. Yeah, there's US news here, home sales, which is actually pretty dramatic. I mean, I don't really pay a ton of attention to news as far as the details. I just care about when it's coming out, because then volume usually comes into the market. So if I'm in a trade, I can be a little mindful of that. But if you look at this, new home sales, I'll go back here. Just look at it here. So previous was 7.4%. The consensus is negative 4.7. So like, that's horrendous. But I mean, that could already be baked into the price, right? Which is why the US dollar tanked during London and now New York, or New York, I guess. So, I mean, as far as like taking the news and saying, well, once this news comes out in 20 minutes, the dollar's going to tank, it kind of already did. So I might actually just correct. but it's really dependent. And that's why I don't really care about news so much. I find it more of a distraction. And you're trying to like base your trading solely on news and like what comes out. And I mean, we don't even know. We don't even know if this consensus is true yet. We don't know how the market's going to react. We don't know if the price is already it's already baked in, as far as like earlier on in the week. Like we don't know. We don't know. So just relying on this release for, to form a trade judgment or whatever. It's not I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. But okay, so we went over those couple indices. Now we'll just go through everything again. I'm going to mark up all my imbalances and see what kind of happened this week. So um, Aussie yen here, see big sell off, and then tapped into this 1 hour imbalance, is now coming up. So pretty much has moved its weekly range. I think most pairs now at this point are at their weekly range. So like for example, I'm not going to go into depth with all of them, but this on average was 270 pips. It's at 220 for the week. So it's and it also has these imbalances. So the idea of this continuing to move further for the week, and it's Friday, unlikely because there's 3 imbalances here. So there's just a ton of buyers. So like the idea of this to keep going down this week, probably not, because there's a lot of buyers in here, and it's running out of range just for the week. And then, so all these yen pairs are going to be pretty much the same, except Swiss yen and dollar yen, but we'll go over those. CAD yen still pretty flat. Did actually tap into this imbalance. I do believe I got an alert for it. Oh, it's too old. It doesn't register, but yeah, it did hit that. So we can delete that. Took out this one. Took out this one. Yeah, CAD yen not doing much. I think out of all the yen pairs, it's doing the least. So really boring. We'll skip past that. Swiss yen, like I mentioned yesterday, does move differently than the other yen pairs because the Swiss and the yen are both safe haven currencies. So, which makes sense. Like if you think about like today when the dollar, I guess a few hours ago when the dollar was losing heavy value, this didn't really move because the money is going from the US dollar into the Swiss yen. Or sorry, yeah, going to Swiss yen, right? The Swiss and the yen. So keeps this pair pretty neutral. So as far as the week, weekly ranges, let's see. It's at 1.8, usually moves about 3, so hasn't moved as much this week as it normally moves, but like I said, they kind of balance each other out. So I don't expect Swiss yen to move a lot, and if it does move a lot like it did here, I took a trade up here at this imbalance. Like it was absolutely perfect because I knew it would correct, right? So because anytime, and the other yen pairs didn't move, so in comparison. So once you get a big move like this, it's going to correct because it doesn't make sense for one of these currencies to be way out of whack because they're both safe haven currencies. So money kind of flows into them equally. So moving right along here, we got euro yen. Let's make sure this is all good. Yep. Euro yen. So I thought the yen itself was going to sell off this week and push these up. So I was really wrong about that at the start of the week. You can see this was the beginning of the week. Well, this is technically the high. So kind of consolidated all week and then now broke lower. As far as like where it's headed, you can see these daily swings getting lower and lower. Now today I actually tested this swing low. So I do see this potentially coming up, filling these couple imbalances, maybe even just this 1 hour, maybe this daily, and then heading even lower just based on this structure. If you look at the 4 hour, you can see it broke this swing, came down, 2 more swings. This one's not even higher than the other, and then broke it. So you see euro yen going bearish, and no visible imbalances to the downside that I can see. So no real targets, but just these couple up here to fill. So USD CAD, we can leave that. Check that later. Okay, so pound yen, very similar to euro yen, of course. We have a 1 hour imbalance here that has not filled. It's created at this with this 5 5 a.m. candle here. I can delete this. You can see price came down, hit this daily imbalance, took a couple now, and is getting bought up. The daily imbalance is pretty big, so this is a big daily imbalance too, but a daily is pretty significant. They don't happen as much. So yeah, and I can see it, it's getting bought up. You can see I swing high here, but then price came pretty close. So I could actually see this coming up and filling these imbalances, maybe not all the way up here, but filling these before heading back down. Main target is, as far as shorting this, would be these imbalances here, this 4 hour and this 1 hour, and then eventually this daily, right? But for this, I mean, to get to this daily, most likely, I mean, it's got to completely, which it's currently filling this daily imbalance, but then it also has to take out these ones. It's probably going to come up and find some more sellers up here and then head down to this daily. And with all that happening, what's going to happen is there's going to be a swing low created on this daily leg somewhere, possibly this candle. Let's say next week we get 4 candles and it comes up and it fills these imbalances. That'll create a swing low here, and then that swing low will break, confirming the trend on the daily going bearish. It's kind of been ranging from all of this year, like from 198, we'll say, down to like 188, give or take ish. So then 1,000 pips, just up and down, up and down. So I could see this coming back down, filling this daily imbalance, then maybe heading back up. You know, maybe coming a little bit lower, but it's kind of, yeah, it's just ranging. So let it do its thing. Kiwi yen. So this was I made really good money off this trade actually. Played out perfect yesterday, and then it completed today actually. So, but I thought with the yen getting weak, I thought at the start of the week the yen was going to get weaker, which is going to push all these pairs up. Super wrong. I mean, it did kind of happen on Monday a little bit, and then boom, sold off. So, yeah. So my take for next week is still like there's all these imbalances up here, so I think they're going to get filled. But as far as trend goes, like I can delete this, I can delete this too. How nice this is. Comes down, fills this 1 hour imbalance, comes back up, fills this one. We can delete both of these. So, price broke this 4 hour swing low. It's created lower swing highs here consecutively, perhaps creating another one here. So, I mean, like this is looking bearish to me, but we do have a daily swing high here, but eventually this is going to find a bottom. So we have a daily imbalance all the way down here and a weekly. How big is this weekly? So what I think is going to happen, there's 2 possibilities. So price is going to come up, fill a bunch of these imbalances, then come down and fill these. Or what's more likely to happen, because it's already moving this direction, price is going to come down, fill these first, and then come up. So this has to put in a swing low somewhere, and it has to put in a lower swing high. So we have this one here. So odds are this is not going to get filled until the trend completely switches. But we haven't, there's no, if you look here, there's no swing low established on the daily. So it needs to be put somewhere, perhaps in these imbalances. I mean, if you look at here, if I just fib this quick, you can see, can't make this up. If this leg coming down, it's a retracement leg for this essentially bullish move here, and it fills these imbalances, it's going to stop right around this 50, between the 50% and the 618, right at the 50% really. You can see there's a bunch of wicks in this area too. So I mean, like this is a prime area for price to come down, fill these imbalances, and then head higher, or at least head towards these imbalances to fill. Might not break this swing high, but it'll at least get close, and it'll probably grab all these sellers in here. So that is what I think is going to happen with Kiwi yen. And yeah, it might take a week or two. I mean, it usually moves 220 pips a week. So, this might be 1 week, and then this is the next 2 weeks. So it might take 3 weeks for this to play out. But yeah, that's what I think QEN is going to do. Okay, so we got dollar yen. Big move this morning. Big move overall today. It's daily range. Hold on, I just got to check my trade. Yeah, we're still in profit. Okay. Yeah, so dollar yen. This is the daily move. Looking for it to retrace now. You can see we have a 1 hour bullish engulfing candle here, 9 minutes before it closes. But so it does look like the day is retracing so far. Price came down, smoked this 4 hour imbalance, but I mean, there's just a ton of momentum on that candle. So totally reasonable, but technically filled that imbalance. And so, yeah, now we can definitely head up. Just want to see that technically got filled. So yeah, I think this is going to keep coming up a little bit and at least complete this daily retracement. And then as far as like longer term, looking at dollar yen here, I do think it's going to keep heading down and filling these imbalances. I don't think it's going to break this swing low. I think it's going to come down, fill these, and then start heading back up. And because there's such a, like this is an 800, this is like an 800 pip range. I think it's going to take some time to break either above this or below this. I think it's going to be above this. But there's just a lot of imbalances on both sides to fill, these ones and these ones. And then, yeah, it's going to have to create swing highs and swing lows. So most likely it's going to come down, create a higher swing low, higher relative to this one, then come up, create a swing high, which is probably going to be lower than this one because it's consolidating. And then that's just going to keep happening until it decides to break out. And it's just going to take a little bit of time to fill all these imbalances up top and below here on a dollar yen. And just see there's heavy resistance here. This is a weekly swing low. So, and we did create a lower swing high on the weekly. So even if dollar yen is going bearish long term, this might actually become a new swing low here for the weekly, but really it's just rejecting this one. It'll print a lower one, but you can see the wick. It's really just rejecting this one. So we need a higher. Well, technically, yeah, we need another weekly swing high. It's going to be lower than this one, but it's probably going to be somewhere in here. Might even be this candle as this forms, but it's going to take 3 more weeks for that to form. But yeah, if this does decide to go bearish, which I mean it could, and we already have the first sign with this lower swing high on the weekly, so I could see dollar yen going long-term bearish. But I do think that there's just a lot of imbalances here that have to be filled first. These ones, maybe not up here, but these ones for sure. So I'm looking for price to come down, fill these, then come back up and fill those. So lots of movement in dollar yen and lots of money to be made because of it. Dollar index. Let's see if this tells me the same story. It's dollar yen. Just mark this quick. Weekly. So we got very bearish week. It's right within its range. Usually moves 1.89. It's at 1.859, so 1.86. So very reasonable with its range. But you can see there's a ton of imbalances in here too. So I could see this coming. Eventually, this is going to have to pull up and fill some of this. How much of it, I don't know, but some of it for sure. And then, I mean, you even have a monthly imbalance here. So like that's going to have to get filled. Technically has broken this monthly swing low though, which is crazy. So yeah, the dollar might be long-term bearish, but like I said, there's a lot of imbalances in here that need to be filled. Even if we consider, man, no, like there's no. We mark this monthly imbalance, so yeah. I mean, we need price to come up and fill at least everything in between here where it is now. So maybe not these upper ones, but everything in here needs to fill because price needs to come in. You got a weekly imbalance and a monthly. So like this area is prime too, and you can even see just by looking at this daily time frame. There's a key level here that needs to be retested. So in doing so, it's going to fill all these imbalances. So that's what I would be waiting to happen for that. Again, you just drop the time frames here. So obviously it's going to have to break this 4-hour swing high before it starts heading higher. You can see it when it created it. Price came up, price came down, created this imbalance, and then came up, filled it. So yeah, looking for this to switch directions eventually, but again, I think it might still come down a little bit, fill these imbalances, and then start heading higher and start filling all these ones all the way up to this weekly and the monthly. But all in good time, so we'll just see how that plays out. Okay, Aussie dollar. Really wanted this to, I was going to sell this. I sold Kiwi dollar instead. Very, very similar. It's its sister pair, but I wanted it to come up and fill these imbalances because if it filled these at all, this was a perfect short. Oops, what am I doing? To wherever the next 1 hour imbalance was, could even be here. I mean, this is still a very valid trade if price comes up here and fills these imbalances, which it didn't do, but you can see it's just really rejecting this. Where is my, oh, right here. It's just really rejecting this area. You can see all these previous swing highs on the 1 hour. But yeah, it's continuing to reject. So I don't think the Aussie or the Kiwi, but we're talking about the Aussie, I guess, is bullish. But I think with the dollar getting weaker, it's just been pushing this up a little bit. There's a 4-hour imbalance here, just right at the 1 hour too, but we'll still mark it. So yeah, you can see just rejecting this area. Just with the dollar getting weaker, it's been pushing this up. But I don't think that Aussie dollar as a currency, like as currency pairs together, as a currency pair, I guess, because it's both currencies. Anyways, I don't think it's bullish. Like you can see, it's really just been consolidating all month here in this area. So I just think with the weakness in the dollar, it's been pushing it up a little bit, but hardly. So I'd expect, especially if price comes up and fills these, I expect a big decline down here. So for this to come up and fill these imbalances, it just probably requires the dollar, which we just looked at, to come a little bit lower. And then it's going to push this up, fill these, and then head down as the dollar starts to move back up. This is the trade I'm currently in. This is not my stop loss, but I'm currently in it. So I'm just looking to sell it down to this 1 hour imbalance here, which is not marked. So I will mark it. Yeah, this was my perfect trade setup. So price was overextended for the day. You can see it's moved 77 pips. On average, it moves 61. And because of today's big daily move, it actually increased that average. So it was actually a little bit less when I first took it. It came up, filled this imbalance. Perfect. I looked at all the other dollar pairs at the same time, and they were correlating. And then broke structure. So I entered it right here. And pretty much at our entry right now. It's just kind of somewhat consolidating, finding its highs and lows for each time frame. So you can see we put in a 15 swing low here. Might be putting in another one here in the next two 50-minute candles. So yeah, I didn't expect a big retracement quick or anything when I took it. So probably take the whole day. Just depends. We got news in a minute, I think, here. News might move it. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hopefully it goes in my favor. Might have to watch me take a hit live. But yeah, we'll just keep moving through everything. We'll see the move in the other pairs as well. So that's dollar, or sorry, that's Kiwi dollar. Now we're moving on to euro dollar. Massive push on all these dollar pairs last night. I didn't, especially pound dollar, which we'll get to right away. But you can see like this moved 97 pips, and now it's already halfway sold off for the day. So I think the dollar just got super weak overnight. That projected news during London, and then and a little bit for early, well, mostly London, not because New York wasn't really open at 5 a.m. obviously, but yeah, I think let's just see. I mean, there's so much rejection in this area. I didn't think this would actually get this high again, but yeah, I mean, but this is just a big liquidation candle on the 4 hour. I think this is going to continue downwards. I think the euro is going to get weaker. I think the dollar is going to get a little bit weaker for a little bit, and then I think it's going to start gaining strength. And I think it's going to really push this down. We do have this 4 hour imbalance. It's not massive up here, but other than that, there's nothing else. So you can see we got swing lows here, 4 hour swing lows, and then you have this swing high here, which now got retested and is rejecting. So as soon as this 4 hour swing low breaks, I mean, we're headed lower. There's a ton of imbalances in here that need to be filled. This moved so much so quickly, and you can see all this too. You got a weekly one, you got a monthly one, you got two big dailies. So if the euro gets weaker overall and the dollar starts retracing, then I mean this is coming down obviously. So that's what I'd be looking for euro dollar to do. Pound dollar. So I've been talking all week about how it doesn't like to sit above 134, and until last night, it wasn't. And then had this massive push. We can delete all these. So let's just see. Yeah, it's overextended on the week. Usually moves 231. It's already at 263. So yeah, just with the dollar taking that hit last night really pushed us up. But you can see, like if you look at this daily candle, overextended on the day, it's moved 121. It usually moves about 95. So, and it's selling off. So I don't think, like this is bullish, but for how long, I don't know. Because, I mean, technically, now it's completely filled this weekly imbalance, and we'll see how today closes. There's still almost 7 hours left in this candle, but if this closes below 134.33, then basically all this did, this whole bullish leg here, all it did was fill this imbalance. And then, I do think it's going to head lower. Like I said, if the dollar starts gaining strength soon, which I think it's approaching its recent swing low, I do think it's going to start retracing, which is going to bring this down. So I would just wait. I mean, it's been nicely trending. So, but you got a 4 hour swing low here. Wait for this to break, and then it's going to start heading lower. I think you can see we have this 4 hour candle. Still 3 hours left, but it's already engulfing the previous one. We got the last 1 hour candle that just closed. It engulfed the previous candle that was super bullish. So, yeah, I don't think this is actually long-term bullish. I think that just with the weakness in the dollar last night / this morning, it's caused us to push up, but I think it's coming down. So look for it to fill these imbalances first, then probably come back up a little bit, fill any imbalances that it created on its way down, and then just keep heading lower until it starts, until it breaks this swing low. So it'll probably come down, fill these imbalances, create a higher swing low, come back up, fill those imbalances, and then break that swing low. So it'll look just like this, except this will be right here. And then if you're looking at the range, like how long we could expect for this to take, if it moves 231 a week, just adjust this pretty much there. But so let's say next week the price comes down, comes back up. It's about midway here. This is what we can expect for the following week. But I mean, this is a lot. Like this is only it could do potentially next week. It could do all of this. So if the dollar starts to pull up, the pound sells off at all, then I mean this is going to come down and fill all these imbalances. So breaking this swing low and uh, confirming a shift in structure. So could definitely see that happening. Wow, we got 10 views already. Thanks for joining the stream. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm just rambling. I'll try to pay attention to the chat. There's usually not this many people in here, so I don't have to really pay attention to the chat. So yeah, so let me know if you have questions. So we got this 4-hour imbalance here that was just created. We got another one here. So most likely what will happen, price comes down, and it's going to get bought up a little bit. There's going to be smaller imbalances here. You can see there's a 15, 15. Bet you there's a 30. Oh, no 30, 35s. No 5. So a couple 15s here. So price will probably come down, hit this 4-hour imbalance, come up, fill these 15s. So don't expect a ton more for this to move this morning. We can see we had our news here. Oh, see, like this is, man, okay, so this is why I said I don't really give a shit about news, is because so previous was 7.4, expected was negative 4.7, which is horrible, and then the actual was 10.9, so very positive. So, and then again, so like we expected really, really bad news, we got really, really good news, and yet this hasn't moved at all. So, and the dollar weakened last night with expectations of bad news, and we got really good news. So you think that this would just correct, but no, it doesn't. You know, maybe next week. And so like that's why I really don't pay much attention to news. I just kind of find it useless. It's just if I had a trade, let's say at 8 a.m. this morning, I was entering a trade, and there was and there's major news event, it just might move my trade more than I want, right? So I might just want to wait a few minutes. If there's an influx of volume that comes in, but other than that, I don't really care about what the news says. So yeah, that's pound dollar. I'm waiting for it to switch just because there's no real reason for this. Like now that this weekly imbalance is filled, I don't have a ton of history with this broker on this chart, but I'm in January 2022, so 3 years. But like there's just not any reason for this to go higher. I'm not saying it can't, but it's just the imbalances are filled. So once we get a break of structure to the downside, especially on this 4-hour time frame, I'd be looking for it just to keep going downwards and at least cleaning up all these imbalances in here, all this mess. After this, I have no idea, but I mean that's a ways away. So we'll let that fill. Gold, big move. So gold's been moving really heavy, and I have a love-hate relationship with gold. I find it is either really good to me or really, really bad. So I have not been trading it lately. And also, the lot sizing is drastically larger. It's almost like 10 times more. So, like, just for an easy example, like one lot of dollar yen versus is like 0.1 lots for gold. So, if you're on the wrong side of gold, it really, really sucks. If you're on the right side, it's great, but I don't know. I just have my issues with gold sometimes, but it does move really nicely. You can see uh, this daily imbalance came up, completely filled it today. It's at its daily range. It's moved $77 today. It usually moves 75, so I can just see it selling off for the rest of the day. Now that it's completed this move, you can see the weekly. It's moved 161. It usually moves 173. So that's this weekly marker here. It actually moved perfect. I had it averaged out. I expected about 160 bucks this week, and it moved exactly that. So could just see next week filling these imbalances now. Might push up a little bit higher. There's a 1 hour here, a couple of 1 hour imbalances here. They're not highlighted because they're old. They're from the beginning of May here. So, or else they would look like this. But yeah, I mean, before shorting it, I would never go, like gold is obviously trending up here. So I would not short it until you get a 4 hour swing low, or at least a 1 hour swing low, and then a break of that. But you can see it hit this daily with this candle here. This is a good example, this 4-hour candle here came into this daily imbalance, which looks like this. This is the daily imbalance. It's a big gray area. This 4-hour candle came into it and completely liquidated. So there's a lot of sellers here which took all these buying positions, ate them up, and yeah, I think it seems like it wants to push in a little bit. I don't think it'll push higher than this, but it might push about halfway, fill this wick, and then yeah, look for a retracement of some kind next week. If we just look at if this is the weekly move, which it was, this is Monday, the low for the week. If we just look for this is like, I'll make this call right now, and next week you guys will see it play out. If you look at just a weekly retracement, so you're looking at next week's move retracing based on this week's move. If it retraces between 50% and the 618, which is very, very common, it's this 1-hour imbalance right here. So, and you can see there's actually this 1 hour and then there's a 4-hour down here. They're both really big, so the chances of gold coming into this area next week, very, very, very high. So let it sell off a bit, let it create some new swing lows for it to break. It's gonna probably take, I could see price coming down to here. I mean, this is 75 bucks, so it's about, it's an entire day's move, but I think it'll take a few days for it to happen, just because Monday, Tuesday will probably be slow ish, and then you have two 4-hour imbalances here. Oh no, this one, sorry, this is an old one. This one got filled. So we have this 4-hour imbalance here, which is pretty big. It's probably just gonna have to come down. It's gonna get bought back up, and then it's gonna come up a little bit, and then it's probably gonna come down. So, and fill these. So it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some volume for it to do that. So that's what I would be expecting for gold, and that correlates with all the other dollar pairs here, right? Euro dollar coming down, pound dollar coming down, Kiwi dollar coming down, all of them. So now we're looking at oil. We'll just look at crude. We probably won't look at Brent, but a couple big 1 hours here. But again, this is just right in between. I talked about this yesterday, I think. It's just right in between all these imbalances, right? So the upside and the downside, I do think it's going to come lower a little bit and then come back up. But as far as right now, it's mostly just ranging all week here between like 63 bucks and I don't know, like 60 bucks. So it's just like a $3 range. Big imbalances here, tons down here. So basically just waiting for a breakout in either direction is fine, but it's got to break out in one of them. So, or else there's nothing. Doesn't really have any incentive to go anywhere until it starts filling imbalances. So pretty boring, crude. What's this say? Okay, Aussie Swiss. Moving right along. Appreciate you guys joining the stream. 12 views already. I think that's a record. Okay, so Swiss pairs, especially Aussie Swiss, not the most exciting by any means, but let's see, did come up, created this daily on Wednesday, came up and now filled it. We'll get to that alert later. So it came up, filled this daily, and is now selling off. We have lower swing. This is the 4-hour. We have lower swing highs. I mean, this one broke barely, I guess, and then now broke this swing low. So I would say we're bearish, but these imbalances here, I think, need to get filled. If we look at like this leg of price here, you can see right between your 50%, 618. So I think this 4-hour needs to get filled. I have an alert. Oh, the Euro Aussie and pound Aussie are moving, so check those out in a little bit. Hold on, make sure this is good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm waiting for these to come up, fill a little bit, and then probably head lower. Don't think my Kiwi dollar trade, it's not doing great right now. It's getting bought up. I'm a little concerned because if price decides it wants to keep going and hit this 4-hour imbalance, it's really going to hurt. But we'll just see. This might liquidate at this 30-minute swing high, right? You can see there's one here, there's one here. So I'm hoping that happens. Really massive 50-minute candle here. Yeah, hopefully this runs out of range. Retesting this 5-minute swing high. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked because it's my trade that I'm in. What am I on? Yeah, CAD Swiss now. Big move, but overall pretty boring. There's just not. You know, it came close to this daily, but never got it. So if it comes down here, buy it. If it comes up here, sell it. That's really all I have to say about CAD Swiss. Pretty boring. Euro Swiss, big push down, created this nice imbalance. You can see filled this one, and now guess what? It's most likely going to fill this one. So it's really just ranging though. So I mean, if it with ranging pairs, I mean, you can definitely trade them still. You just kind of, like I just said with CAD Swiss, you don't sell up here, buy down here. So, but this is filled now, so we have to delete it. So now there's no more buyers in here, most likely. So if price comes down again, don't buy right away. Wait for structure, obviously. But this imbalance is filled, so yeah. But there's a lot of you're going to see a lot of resistance in this area, right? Price came down. Previous 4-hour candle tapped into it, came up. So a lot of resistance in this area, but you do have consecutive lower swing lows on the 4-hour. This one might print one as well, most likely, because the rest of today and then Monday will be pretty slow. So this will probably print a new 4-hour, which is lower than these ones. So I could see this slowly sliding down for sure. Pound Swiss, okay. This was a perfect trade I took yesterday. I did exit a little bit earlier. I never made it right to here. I got worried because it was right towards the end of the day, but yeah, these I just shrink my stops down to see where like the high of like what the most drawdown I would have taken was. So that's what I do with those. But yeah, price came down, hit this 1-hour balance, perfect. Luckily I got out because it came back up. Yeah, let's see. Go watch this. All right. Okay, so let's mark these imbalances here. Pound Swiss range is pretty good. I mean, the pound and the Swiss are pretty much the same pair, so makes sense. It's coming back up to fill all these. Obviously struggling with this daily imbalance, but I do think it's going to keep heading higher like this and fill this one. But another thing, let's just see. I mean, it technically has already completed its retracement, and if we look at this resistance area, let's go something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of already in it. So yeah, as far as like long-term plays with pound Swiss, I have no idea. I would just take it day by day, right? Let it fill its imbalances. It creates them. Here, this was a 4-hour. You can see price came down, filled it, came back up. So we do have 3 consecutive lower swing highs on this 4-hour time frame, and we did have a break here. So based on that alone, I would say trending more bearish, and I'd be more looking for these imbalances to fill first before these ones. But I mean, look at them. There's so many. But I mean, if we get a break of structure here and it takes out, let's say, even if price breaks up and takes out this 1-hour imbalance and doesn't sell off right away, then I would say we're good to keep going and filling these. But As of right now, I'd be looking more downside movement short term, just because, like I said, 3 consecutive lower highs. I mean, this was last week actually, Tuesday, May 13th. So yeah, for the last 2 weeks, I'm just kind of slowly drifting downwards. Like I said, 3 lower swing highs in a row, and then broke this swing low. So then yeah, we got some bearish movement today too. So I think she's heading lower. Kiwi Swiss, big 1 hour imbalance, completely filled. Clean up all these, clean up that. We still have this 4 hour. It's kind of in no man's zone here, right? You know, again, just like the other Swiss pairs, if it comes up here, potentially sell it. Comes down here, potentially buy it. But those are so far away, those imbalances right now, that, and I mean, this is only like, this just barely moves, right? It only moves 46 pips a day. So, and then even as like this structure, I mean, it rejecting, kind of broke, breaking up. So like I would say this is more bearish, similar to pound Swiss, but I mean, it's mostly just ranging. So no real trades on Kiwi Swiss, I don't think. Big movement on dollar Swiss last night. We're going to update all these. Actually, this was this morning. Last night and this morning. So we're going to update all these imbalances here. We have a 4 hour here. We'll just get these all going here. So those 4 hours are done. You can see, like, look how beautiful this is. Came up, filled these, broke back down. Just love it, you know. Hasn't quite hit its weekly range. Maybe it's going to keep going this morning for a bit. I don't know. Maybe the next few hours continues down. Maybe next week it fills these imbalances and then heads back up a bit. It's creating another 4 hour imbalance. This is premature because there's still 2.5 hours left, but market for now. It is approaching a heavy resistance area here, and then including this recent swing low, so it might test this, liquidate, come back up, but a lot of imbalances though. I do think it's going to start coming back up. I think it's just slow, right? So we had a swing high form, pull back, created a higher swing low, broke it, came up. So what it looks like, it wants to retest this swing low. Like it looks heavy. Looks like it wants to keep coming down a bit. But there's a daily imbalance here, so it might just come down all within a day, maybe a Tuesday, let's say. Come down, hit this imbalance, hit this swing low, go into this imbalance, maybe even really deep, hit this 4 hour, and then reject it. Or at least reject most of it and maybe close slightly below this swing low, and then maybe want to head up. So yeah, as long as it doesn't crush this swing low and like make another one down here, I mean, even then we could still be changing directions. It's just going to take a lot longer because like the new swing low realistically should not be below this one, and if it is, then we're not really bullish yet. So, but yeah, so short term, I think the price is still going to come down, fill these imbalances here before heading up. If it decides to head up, there was just a lot of, you can see it did well here, right? But there's just a lot of sellers in here. So as soon as it got up, it just sold off. So we'll see what it does when it gets down here. Okay, Aussie CAD. 1 hour imbalance, completely filled. We'll move this one. I'll go filled as well. We'll just update all these. Not super exciting, but it does look like heading downwards. So we have 3 consecutive lower 4-hour swing highs, potentially forming a fourth here. We have break a swing low here, break a swing low here, potentially another break a swing low here next week. So I do think this is going to keep heading down. We got a weekly imbalance here and a daily, which is massive. That most likely need to get filled. So it's pretty much moved its entire range for the week. It's at 132. It usually moves 150. Oh, I gotta look at this actually. Oh, so this hit the this hit. So this is good and bad. This is, and I'll tell you why. So this is good because this is what I wanted to happen. We are just talking about this. If it came up to here, this is good, right? There should be a lot of sellers in here. It's bad because I know this pushed up then and is most likely pushing up to here. So that's bad because I'm currently in this trade. So hopefully it doesn't go any higher. So like because Aussie dollar here has imbalances here, as long as this stops going up, this should as well. Yeah, see, so like even like the US dollar is still getting weaker, and yet really good US news came out. So can't really. Oh, we'll go after. We'll look at those after they're coming up. But yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see how this plays out before I have to maybe take a loss. I don't know. We'll see what it like. We had to break a structure, and we have a lot of resistance up here. So we had to break a structure to the downside. So that's why I took this. But anyways, okay, I'm just gonna keep going through all these. Where were we? Aussie CAD. Don't worry about those other ones yet. That comes later. Yeah, I think it's gonna head lower. Right, we got a couple break structures down to the downside. I think it's gonna keep heading lower. It's just slow, right? Next week might be like something like this. Fill all these, retest this area of resistance here. You can see there's a bunch of wicks in here. So this is next week's play I could see happening. Create a couple more lower swing highs, just confirming our bearish trend for Aussie CAD. EuroCAD called this move, came up higher than I thought. I didn't think it would really come much past this 1 hour imbalance, but it did. Now it's selling off, so could definitely keep coming down to here to end the week, potentially get bought up Monday, maybe Sunday, and then pull back a little bit. EuroCAD's not moving a ton lately, so it's really just ranging. I mean, this is only like 200 pips within here, so not too much happening with pound CAD or with EuroCAD. Moving on to pound CAD. Okay, so I've been waiting for this. This might be a really good move next week. Actually, I know this will be. So heavy rejection, 2 swing highs, pretty much the exact same. 1, 2, and now a third. Big bearish engulfing candle, breaking this 4-hour structure here. So I think this is going to head back down and start filling these imbalances at least, if not head down further to these ones. So as far as potential trade entries, we're just going to still have 30 minutes left. So odds are this will come back up and fill a little bit, and we'll get a 1 hour imbalance somewhere up here. So it'll take a couple hours for that to form, and that's not super important. But yeah, looking for a sell somewhere in here down to these imbalances. So this is the weekly range at 290, currently about 260. Yeah, I don't know, right around like between 260, 250, doesn't really matter. Something like this, price comes up, rejects somewhere in this area, and then heads lower and fills these imbalances next week. That is what I could see happening. You can see it just slowly, it retested 1, 2, and now 3 times, so it does not want to go any higher than this. You can see previous structure, tested here, sold off, tested here. So anything above like 180, 650, yeah, pretty much on the dot. Price just rejects. So that's telling us that it most likely wants to go down. And even if it does want to break higher, let's say, and go past 186.5, it needs buyers to do so. And these are where the buyers are. They're here, they're all the way down here. So just a heavily rejected area, right? We have a daily imbalance all the way down here. So the very least, we need buyers, and they're in this area. So I could see price coming down. We got 5 days in a row, pretty much all week here. Yeah, this is Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This entire week rejected this area. So looking for price just to come down, fill these imbalances, and then possibly pull back up again, and then pull down further and fill these ones. But so I'd be short pound CAD for at least the next week. Is what I'm thinking. Kiwi CAD very similar to Kiwi dollar trade that I'm in. So it came up, filled these imbalances perfectly, and sold off. So hopefully, just like Kiwi CAD, it's pushing up now this hour. So because as far as correlation in my favor of my Kiwi dollar trade, this might be good because this is hitting its imbalances, and Aussie dollar is hitting its imbalances here. So hopefully there's enough sellers in here to knock these down. This one and then Kiwi CAD is very similar, so that this keeps going down and my trade doesn't go against me anymore. So, but again, so similar to the other Kiwi pairs that we looked at, you can see lower swing high, broke this swing low, is now creating a new one down here. So this should be just a retracement. If you can see, look at this, can't make this up. So came back up, hit this 618 retracement, filled these imbalances, is now selling off, hopefully continues to sell off, which would help me. And then just target this daily imbalance down here. Oops. Yeah, confirming that we're bearish, right? We got these 2 4-hour lower consecutive swing highs, and then this should be a third. This is our new swing low, most likely. I'll take another candle, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the fifth candle, this will create a swing low, which is lower than this one. And then, yeah, so this trend will continue downwards, most likely, but the Kiwi pairs don't move a ton, so. And then if we just look at this leg of price, you can see most likely it's going to come down and hit this one, this daily imbalance here, which would be right past this 618 retracement. So, but you have heavy consolidation in this area. Like it hasn't been above this since the end of March. So, and this is a daily swing low, which price tested here, came up, like I said, filled these imbalances today. But next week I would look for this to break lower, fill this imbalance. So it's going to take some time too. It's going to come down, hit this imbalance. It's going to get bought up a little bit. There's a lot of buyers in here, and then it'll make its way down. So like this might take, and again, it only moves 140 pips a week. So like this might take a couple weeks just to come down. It might take 3 whole weeks just to come down to this daily. So this one down here. So because it's technically 3 of these, right? So, and these are never that efficient, right? They're at best they're 50% efficient. So it's just going to come down, pull up halfway, come down, pull up halfway, come down, pull up halfway. So probably end up here, up this daily imbalance, right at this. I mean, you can't make this up. This is a whole level. This is a whole level daily imbalance. Wow, I've never seen that before. Right at 0.800. Wow. So yeah, chances of coming down to this are high. So that's what I'd be waiting for on Kiwi CAD. Okay, we got dollar CAD retesting these swing lows, these daily swing lows, potentially creating a new one today. Just with all the dollar weakness. This is a 1 hour imbalance. Let's just see. It's old. It was not that big. Oh no, it was tiny. Okay, that's why this didn't really do anything. But we're gonna update all these. Dollar CAD moved a lot this week. It's already at 215. It usually moves 193. We got some 1 hours in place here. We got 25 minutes before this one closes, but we'll just put it here. So creating some 1 hour imbalances. This is a 4 hour. Yeah, I'm hoping this, well, it doesn't really matter to me. Well, I want the dollar to get stronger because that's going to help my Kiwi dollar trade. But you can see this is a resistance area, so we should get some buying in this. Plus, I think it's overextended on the day. Yeah, it's already moved 105 pips. They usually move 76, so it's overextended on the day. So hopefully it doesn't come down much further than this. I don't want the dollar to get any more weaker because it's pushing up my Kiwi dollar trade. But and then yeah, next week I'd be looking for some sort of. And this is clearly bearish, right? We've now broken this 4 hour swing low, but I'd be looking for price to come back up and fill any imbalances in here, but also just a proper retracement. Might even come, yeah, like this 618 retracement is right at this 1 hour imbalance. So if price continues, if price doesn't go any lower than it is right now, then this 618 retracement is right at this 1 hour imbalance. So that is what I think is going to happen. I think we'll get some sort of pullback into next week early, and then maybe continue to head lower. We don't really have, I mean, our next imbalance is this weekly way down here. But yeah, I think this is due for a little bit of a pullback in here before heading lower. But we'll see. There's not really anything in between here and here. So if this just keeps breaking, and that's 500 pips in between here, roughly. So yeah, that'd be crazy. I'd be looking for some sort of retracement to fill these imbalances first. Yeah. Okay, we got a handful more here. Aussie Kiwi. Does not move a ton, but we're going to fill all these in. Four-hour imbalance here. So we did shift structure midweek here. You can see came up, tested this 4-hour swing low, produced a lower swing high, and now broke this one. Created a big imbalance though. Then price came up, completely filled this 4-hour imbalance here. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it better. Completely filled this 4-hour imbalance, and then is now selling down. Retested this area. So this is obviously a an area of resistance here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I do expect this to break, but it's probably going to take these imbalances getting filled. So we'll look at this major one. This is the 4-hour one. You can see price coming up, filling this imbalance, and then heading lower next week and targeting this 1 hour. It's old, but still relevant. And then just depending on how much it moves next week. Let's see, this usually moves 113 pips in a week, so should go a little bit further than this. What's 113? Oh, perfect. So like this is like the weekly range of next week. Price comes up and hits these imbalances, then comes back down. This is the weekly range, so this would be like as of right now, this is like next week's trade, I would say. Starting, Tuesday, that's probably pretty fair. Tuesday-ish, and then boom, by Friday down to here. If this continues, just trending how it's been. Okay, we do have some alerts on these, so I do have to look at these now. So back to the 4 hours. So Euro Aussie here came up, hit this weekly imbalance, and then heavily sold off, telling me that it wants to go down, but it has these imbalances, which it's now filled very well. There's still this other big one, which it's probably going to fill today. And price isn't creating any more imbalances. So really healthy downside structure, meaning as price comes down here, it's not creating any more imbalances to the upside, which means it's just going to keep coming down because it has no reason to come back up. So as far as like next week goes, be something like this. Might retest this little area here. Let's throw this on here. Might come back up, retest this highlighted area, and then head down. But yeah, don't. I just see this continuing downwards. Your Kiwi similar. Oh, we lost everyone on the stream now. Just talking to myself. 4-hour imbalances works out. Oh man, this just is perfect. Filled this. I need this to come down. Here, we're gonna mark all these up quick. 4-hour potential. Hey, I'm back. Are you still here? I seen your comment. It's going good. Any good setups for today? Um, as far as today, I don't know. Not really now. I think the markets have just moved so much. I'd wait for them to settle out and then look for next week, especially because I mean, I guess there's still all of the New York session left, but I'm currently in this QE dollar trade, and for whatever reason, it's decided to push up. This is not my stop, but um, I'm waiting for it to come down here and fill these imbalances. So for whatever reason, this last hour has just been nuts. But I'm hoping it's just rejecting this these swing highs here. You can see 1, 2, 3. Hopefully this sells off and comes back in my favor. So and then, but as far as like entering any trades, I don't think so. I pretty much looked at everything now. Yeah, mostly just setting up everything for next week. And we got some more imbalances created on Euro Kiwi here. You can see big break of structure here to the downside. So looking for this to come back up, fill these, and then head lower. But you can see it actually tapped into this 4-hour imbalance down here, which there's buyers. So it's probably it for the day. Probably going to come back up, fill this one next week. So Euro Kiwi's pretty much ranging as of the last month or so, but couple key things, right? You got this massive daily imbalance up here, and then it moved so quickly through all this, it created all these ones down here. So tough to say. Like you technically have a lower swing high here relative to this one, and you did break this swing low here, and then potentially creating a lower swing high with this candle here. Obviously, it would take all of next week for that to form, but this could be going bearish. It's technically lower swing high, broke this, then might be coming down to fill all these, but there's just a lot of price in between here. I mean, between here and here is 500 pips, so don't know how much this is going to move. A few more pairs I'm going through here. Nothing serious, but we'll just finish all this up here. So yesterday I was looking for this to sell off and fill these imbalances. It never happened, so I never entered a trade. I was just looking for the short position here. It actually did push up higher this morning, liquidate up here and before coming down. So, but did essentially still come down here. So these have all been filled. Go like this. Still got 2 hours left, but a big 4-hour engulfing. I don't like the market too much today. Yeah, it's been a little bit nuts. Fridays are usually are either dead or a ton of movement. So and just certain things, like even just going back to my Kiwi dollar trade that I'm in, like this candle here does not make sense. Like we had a, I'm not just saying that because I'm in the trade. I'm saying that because you can see this is a 1-hour imbalance, and this is why I entered this trade. So price came up all night, right? This is Asia session, London session, all the way into New York, right? You got this huge liquidation candle here, this 1-hour candle here. Oh, keeps highlighting here. I'll just move it quick. So this candle here, liquidated, sold off right in this 1-hour imbalance, just perfect. And then on the lower time frames, this is why I entered where I did. I entered at this break of structure here, which made sense. And then all of a sudden it's, and then you even got a lower high here. And then for whatever reason, it's just boom, back up, right? So market's a little weird. I got lucky. I got a short this early afternoon on Kiwi dollar. Oh yeah, see, so you got the which short from 59.66 right here. So for today, I'm good, but I was looking for another entry, but probably won't do anything as I do not like the market. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the safest bet. So earlier on, because I was up early, my time, like 4 in the morning, um, I was in this trade here. Where did I get in? I got in right here. So it was 5:50 in the morning my time, and I thought this was going to go right down and just be good, and I would have hit my take profit early. Then I was looking at dollar yen to maybe enter a second trade, but um, that's now I'm still stuck in this one. So, and it's weird. So although this 30-minute candle is about to close very weak, so it's a good sign. Um, but yeah, I thought I was going to get an easy one, maybe possible two trades this morning because I thought dollar yen would correct. So and it's pretty stagnant here too. So yeah, good call on just getting out for the day. You took it like 3 hours ago. Oh, okay. Oh, so you just got this little dip here. You got this little pullback, and see, like, so, and this is what actually kind of pisses me off because so this 4 hour, yeah, this 4 hour imbalance here that I have marked, was it this one? No, it was a different one. Hold on. Let me make sure I don't screw this up. There was a 4 hour imbalance. Anyways, okay, so price did come down. It was somewhere in here, and so my normally my take profit would have been in this area because there was an imbalance. I don't know where it is now, but I swear there was one. But it was just not enough pips, so I was like, I wanted to extend my take profit a bit just to get more pips out of it, so my lot size wasn't so big. And then yeah, then it came back up. So I technically, like, if I would have just followed my plan of getting out at the first imbalance, I would have been out, I think, here for this short. So kind of like probably exactly how you were. No, I took it when the price fell down. Oh, okay. 59.66. Oh, I see. Oh, you got in right here and it pulled down. Oh, okay, yeah. So you got in even higher than me, and you got out at 48. Yeah, which is like when I would have been out if I would have just taken my first imbalance. So if we look at this, like this is where, let's just say I went off the same as you, because I think that's where this imbalance was that I was targeting. It was only, yeah, it was like less than 10 pips. I was like, that's not enough, and so I didn't take that take profit. Now I'm regretting it. I mean, I thought I was going to be really good, so because like the momentum, everything looked good. So, um, but yeah, because it came down and it got bought back up, which is ridiculous, but it is what happens. So let's go like this. Don't need this. We'll just drag this over here. Yeah, so we're in some drawdown, but I don't know. I think there's just a little bit of manipulation. I'm hoping, anyways, because you can see like this is just a heavily rejected area, and I mean, I can handle, like, it's more of a swing trade, right? So I can handle price coming back up to here and filling this 4 hour imbalance, right? But I mean, obviously, I don't want that to happen. Like, ideally, this sells off, right? Because it should. Look at this area, right? This area is perfect. Perfect. So, but my saving grace here is, and I looked at this before I entered that trade too, just keep it in mind. I didn't think this would head up this morning, but it did, clearly. And so because Aussie dollar here has two big 1 hour imbalances here, and there's a lot of sellers in here, and you can see it's already, it's created a 5 minute swing high in this area already. It's already rejecting this area. Plus, it is overextended for the day. It's moved about 69 pips and it moves about 66. You can see a bunch of wicks in this area. So, even though Kiwi dollar here looks really ugly for me, Aussie dollar, which I'm not in, but is Kiwi dollar's sister pair, um, looks good. Looks like, okay, we just needed some more sellers here, and we should be getting them. So, and yeah, I mean, depending on, there's still 6 hours left in New York session. I might just move this to break even if I just don't get any momentum. This 30-minute candle is closing bullish, but pretty weak. So yeah, I really just need a shift in structure here. So this should create a 5-minute imbalance, or sorry, a 5-minute swing low here, and then hopefully that breaks. Yeah, I don't like because it seems like the market is manipulated. Yeah, that's all it is, right? Like this doesn't, and I'm not biased because I'm in a trade here. I'm biased because like if we just get rid of this candle here, if we look at this, you're like, well, what's price most likely going to do? It's going to sell off, right? And then you get this stupid ass candle here that completely engulfs this one. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. And the U.S. news that came out after this was really good news. So if the news is the reason, well, that doesn't make sense either. And then even these indices, I don't see moving a ton more today. They're all overextended for the day. It doesn't mean they can't move, obviously, but I do think these are going to continue lower now. We've been waiting for this 4-hour break of structure forever, it seems. So finally got it on the SP 500. So I didn't take any S&P trades all week because I've just been waiting for this to break, for structure to shift, because I was like, I don't think this can go any higher. So, but I can't sell it yet. So, but as of next week, we can sell this. So still looking for this gap to fill, and then all these imbalances down here to fill. So yeah, now I just need hopefully my Kiwi dollar trade doesn't crush me today. Just want to look at all these other ones. What moved the most today? Of course, Kiwi dollar and dollar Swiss. Let's see. Dollar Swiss is also hitting this 4-hour swing low here. So if it comes into it, hopefully it gets rejected, which would signal dollar strength, which would also help my Kiwi dollar trade. So hopefully that happens. And then, yeah, let's just look at what's moved the most this week. Pound dollar, all the dollar pairs. So pound dollar moved the most up, and dollar Swiss moved the most down, which makes sense because these are inversely correlated. So if pound dollar moved the most, yeah, I talked about this earlier in the stream, but just looking for a break of structure somewhere, right? As of right now, it's this 4-hour, but that's quite a bit of ways, 133.9, so about 100 pips away. So looking for this structure to shift and some imbalances to get filled. But yeah, I gotta go right away here. I'm gonna watch my hopefully my trade come back in my favor, at least close me at a break even. I'll just watch it on my phone and set my alerts, but because this pisses me off, like this is stupid, this candle. But so far so good with Aussie dollar here. So I'm actually going to create an alert here. When price creates a swing low on the 5-minute, let me know. And when price breaks that swing low, let me know. Because if this starts selling off, which it should, it's at these imbalances, then we should be good. All right, appreciate everyone joining the stream. 14 views, right on.